Hey, good morning. Yes, it is. It's Saturday. I know it's the weekend, right? Sheep and shout. Enough. All right. So today is about being flexible and and not getting. Sorry about it got a little cut on my nose there. About being flexible and doing different things. You know, not staying in your lane per se, because sometimes you have to get out in the passing lane, right? And drive by a bunch of cars because they're going slow, and then you kind of ease back in. Where some people will get in the one lane and never get out, or they'll get into the passing lane and stay there doing 45 miles an hour, you know. That's how life is. And one of the things that I've learned in life is you do have to be flexible. I mean, you can either throw a tissy fit or you can be flexible, take a good look and see if there's a workaround. Or you can go home, I guess, you know. So one of the things that, I've learned to be flexible with is my life in general, you know. I try to work around what other people have got going on that they find important. And one of the things that, you know, sometimes, like I said yesterday, sometimes you feel like you're chasing your tail. And with this channel, I was starting to focus more on the process than, you guys. And that's terrible, right? Trying to figure out how do I get, more people subscribed, more people involved, more people watching. So one of the first things I decided to ditch is the intro. I mean, because I watched a video and the guy had a lot of followers, and he was saying, oh, you gotta have an intro, and you gotta have a neon sign, subscribe, subscribe, subscribe. And I was reluctant to in the beginning, but I said, you know what, that's part of the YouTube business, right? Is you need to have your own intro. Everybody has their own intro that's, doing well, I guess. But that's one of the things that's bugged me if I go watch another person's channel, is that, within the first couple seconds they're asking me to subscribe and I don't even know what they have to offer. And I really detest, not detest this is my personal stuff, okay? You guys may be totally the opposite, but I don't like clickbaiting. And clickbaiting is when they say something to draw you in, I try to use the best titles that I can think of, the shortest way, just to get the point across, of what today's topic is going to be on. I don't do any fancy, because that was my next thing, was, getting some fancy Okay, so the wording I'm looking for is a YouTube thumbnail. So I don't use, that was my next thing, was, well, maybe I should get a YouTube thumbnail and, make it fancy instead of just like me going a deer in the headlights, right? But that was the other thing that bothered me was you take some people's thumbnails and you click on them and you find out it's not even close to what the thumbnail was kind of. See, I don't know if a lot of folks are just trying to get views. See, even if I click on that and I go to see their video, and within the first 5 seconds I'm like, nah, and I swipe away to somewhere else, they still get a view. And that's not important to me. What's important to me is down the road, halfway through the video, that some of you are still hanging with me and you think what I have to talk about is valuable to you, something you can use. Again, this all goes back to the title of being flexible. If you're flexible, you can make changes. If you're rigid, then you will keep trying to do the same thing over and over again. And one of the things that I wanted to do in the beginning and hold true to that for the channel was I didn't want to be like everybody else. I don't care about being, a big influencer or anything like that. What I care about is that the content that I have to offer is something that's valuable to you, right? Because if it's not very valuable, it's wasting my time, and it's wasting your time too, right? And that's what yesterday's video was about. Was the greatest gift you can give someone is your time. But you can also waste it, right? If you're going to, a YouTube thumbnail that's flashy and clickbait, intro or title that gets you to go watch this, and then when you get there, you're disappointed because it's not what you thought was going to be there, right? So now you feel like you've wasted that time. And for many of you, it's a little discouraging that you're wasting your time on these people that are trying to trick you into watching their videos, so they can tell all their people, I get millions of views. And so, I'm going to go back to the simpleton approach that I had in the beginning, and that is no intro, no thumbnail, no, misleading title. It is what it is. And working more on how do I provide you with the content that you would deem worthwhile to watch, I guess is what I'm saying. because I noticed that there's a certain uptick when I talk about small engine repair, and I guess there should be because this is a repair shop, right? Channel's a repair shop. But I also have life lessons that I want to teach you younger folks, so you don't get discouraged. You know, it's easy to get discouraged. I think it's easier. It was easier when I was younger to get discouraged than I am when I'm older. You know, I just kind of go with the flow. Where, years ago I would get discouraged and decide whether I want to continue doing it or give up and go do something else. But that brings us back to being flexible. Is if I'm not flexible, then I don't feel that I could make these changes. And you're testing that flexibility on a daily basis. It could be going to McDonald's and hoping for their chocolate milkshake and finding out that the milkshake machine is broke down. Do you still get something to eat at McDonald's with a Coke or Pepsi or what have you? Or do you just leave without even getting anything to eat? I'm going to still get something to eat. Even if I go somewhere else to get a milkshake. If I went there to get food, I didn't go there just to get that chocolate milkshake. I mean, I was kind of looking forward to it, but look, I don't go to McDonald's, but I'm just saying, that's how you have to be flexible. But I'm going to try to see what you guys want to see most. If you guys want to see life lessons, or if you guys want to see repair shop, how-tos, the shorts. Because I can see the analytics, of who's watching and what time they're watching. And I notice that most of you folks don't watch until the evening. And that kind of, for me anyways, it was kind of like, well, I don't need to be rushed to get it out quite early in the morning. But I know that there are some, because you've told me, that look forward to it when you get up in the morning to have a cup of coffee with me at the diner, right? That's the way I want it to be. I am who I am. I'm not portraying myself as something that I'm not. Far from perfect. I'm God loving. Yeah. But flexibility also is when we're in business, right? And you have to be flexible almost on a daily basis, especially if you have employees and customers and the dynamics of each, right? And each customer is unique, but so is each employee. And if you're trying to get something accomplished, and you meet a hurdle, let's say that the customer wants their lawnmower, right? And you're on the mechanic, like, I gotta have that lawnmower done but the part hasn't come in yet to fix it. You can be, you know, throw a tantrum, or you can be flexible. And being flexible is, all right, well, we can't get it fixed till that part gets here. Is there any other option? You know, and we've allowed our customers, if they're in real need, to take one of our machines, our personal machines, to go mow the yard so that they're not getting in trouble by code enforcement. You know, take it, go, or offer to go over and mow it for them. That's being flexible, right? But that's probably one of the most valuable things that you need to learn how to do, and that is be flexible. Don't be rigid. Don't be, you know, OCD. And I think that how you become more flexible is from experience, okay? And the more experience you have, the more wisdom you have, and the more willing and able you are to be flexible. And, you know, that could break down to with Christmas coming up. You know, do you push the envelope and say Christmas is going to be done here at my house, blah, blah, blah. All you kids need to be here. All you grandkids need to be here. No, we don't do that. Because I know that my kids each want to have Christmas at home. Opening the toys, being at home, just their kids with a cup of coffee, okay? And I understand that. I hear that. And then you have, you know, where the kids are trying to, you know, they got their significant others, you know, family that they're trying to do dinner with them. And it just gets crazy, you know, around the holidays because everybody wants to spend time with everybody. But, you know, kind of taking my grandfather's approach of being flexible, of saying, look, you know, Thanksgiving and Christmas for us do not have to fall on that day. We can do it, you know, a week after, whatever works for you. I just do not have you going to 2 or 3 great big meals in a day where you're not really getting to enjoy the food. You just, you know, usually by the time you hit the first place, either you don't eat enough and the one that cooked it feels like you didn't like it, or you eat too much and the next meal you go to, you don't touch it because you're full. I mean, and the person that cooked that meal is upset, right? So that's all about being flexible. You know, the more flexible you are, the better off it is for you and the people around you. You know, you just have to understand that things do come up, you know, in other people's lives that may force you to become flexible, you know. And being flexible is, you know, part of wisdom. If you're not flexible, you're still kind of at that childlike stage of where I want it and I want it now. And as you gain experience and wisdom, you start learning, I would like to have it, but I don't need it right this minute. What can I do to do a workaround to get it at a later date or an earlier date, right? All right, enough of me for today, right? Rambling on. Enjoy your Saturday, and thanks for watching. You know, appreciate y'all. All right.